let me call upon Ms. Dorit Spildana, Regional Manager, APAC, Managing Director, Australia and New Zealand. Topic, presentation on cybersecurity of best practices.
All right, hello everyone. Thank you very much for coming to this presentation. And thank you to the speaker who came before me, who really launched into the topic of cybersecurity in our industry. And so let me tell you a little bit more about what SMA is doing in this regard. So before we jump into it, let me tell you a little bit about SMA and who is SMA. So we are one of the leading renewable energy providers, providing power, electronics power, PV devices and BESS for the whole variety of industry across residential, commercial and large-scale utility solar. We have a great vision to provide our products for the future of the industry and to bring the industry forward with our solutions. We've got more than 40 years of experience. We've been around for 40 plus years and are a German company. We've been founded in the heart of Europe, in the heart of Germany, in a small town called Kassel. And so for those of you who don't know, we're the inventor of the very first string inverter in our industry. So this was many, many years ago. And, since we've come on to innovate many of the products you see in our industry today. So we've got more than 1,700 patents. We've got around 4,000 employees globally, and we have more than 133 gigawatts of PV and BESS installed in the global markets. So in India, we've been active since 2010. And we've got more than 3 gigawatts of installed base across the country. You can see here on the screen how many megawatts of installed base in each of the different states. We also have 4 service hubs that support our customers in India. And of course, they're located where we have the most of our installed base, what you can see here on the map. We also have a global center of excellence for grid stability in Bangalore, and we also have a solar academy at our offices at SMA in Mumbai. If you are more interested about our products in the range of C&I and large scale, come see us at our booth. Very happy to talk to you about those. But so really, this presentation is about cybersecurity and the invisible threat, or sometimes visible threat if we come to learn about attacks in the industry. And as we heard before, there's various scenarios we should be worried about. Some people, when they hear about cybersecurity threats or attacks, all they think about is, my data might get stolen, or my systems might freeze and become inoperable because there was a ransomware attack or something. But one thing that we should all be worried about is, what if an attack happens on one of our energy assets and it almost happens slowly, like a frog in the hot water who comes to die. It could be that the attack is such that an inverter simply or a plant inverters are starting to get overheated, and obviously through the attack, and that might bring down your energy asset. And of course, if there is a synchronized attack across several energy assets in one and the same grid, it could bring the grid in fact, down. And we'll see that later by, some estimate for Europe. Here are examples of, some of the real attacks that we have seen in the world, across various energy, means of energy production. Of course, the war in the Ukraine has brought with it quite a lot of attacks, quite presumably from Russia, on more than 100 organizations, government organizations, and energy assets across Europe and the US. So most of those attacks you would have never heard of, but the industry is very much aware of, the cybersecurity agencies are aware of, and there is a whole lot of work that goes into identifying the patterns of those attacks and how more severe impacts can be avoided by working together. Yeah, here are just some more examples. A recent one in Germany, just less than 2 years ago, was an interruption of the satellite system that was in charge to communicate with the wind turbines across Germany, and so that came out of action through this attack. So some might wonder why hasn't something bigger happened yet with solar and PV plants. It's probably because there's so many different, systems that have to be hacked, and the hacking has to be synchronized across those assets. And but just because we haven't seen it yet, it doesn't mean it is not going to happen. And a company like SMA, we're very much prepared for such a potential attack. So, what could possibly happen in the solar industry, you may ask. And so really, there are studies done that say if only 2 to 4 gigawatts of the European power grid are being brought down, that could lead to the whole of the European grid being impacted and being brought down. And what we always have to wonder or ask is who is behind those attacks, and who would carry out those attacks? And firstly, the price has to be a big price. So you wouldn't just do it to bring down a small energy asset. So these actors are striving for a big blow. And of course, it will be actors that are supported by a nation state, supported by a government of another country. And what that means is that they also have a lot of financial resources, a lot of talent, a lot of power behind them to carry out those attacks. So this is really what we have to safeguard ourselves against. So what are the aims of cybersecurity? So definitely for SMA, the aims are that we want to protect the SMA customers. More largely, we want to protect and maintain the energy supply, to safeguard the energy supply. And of course, we also do it to protect ourselves. So protect SMA and protect our business partners, and not enable any backdoors, as we heard about before. So at SMA, we take a very holistic approach to cybersecurity, and across a number of different areas. So one of which is data processing. So all of the data processing, the storage, for us is being done in the European Union on servers within Germany. If customers want to store their data and everything locally on site at their assets, so we also enable that, of course, and then nothing, will leave the country. So of course that's possible in India as well. We're also an independent company, so all of our SMA solutions are free of government influence, and we comply, and I'll show that on the slide later, with all of the local cybersecurity regulations as well as regulations to safeguard critical infrastructure in each of the countries. So we also have a strong commitment to information, making sure that all of our customers, our partners, have, and our employees, of course, have access to security manuals and how to operate those assets, how to commission or decommission the assets according to high cybersecurity standards. Transparency. So we also pride ourselves on transparency. So if there are any potential attacks happening on our systems, we will inform, we are informing cybersecurity agencies around the world, and we make sure that just as others share with us about potential need for patches or gaps that help us to perform better, so we also share with the cybersecurity communities and agencies around the world to enable everybody to upgrade and support their systems. We also have a high commitment to eliminating any security vulnerabilities. So that means proactive handling, response handling to incidents or handling of vulnerabilities. And it means that we have SDLC compliant patch management in the whole of the software lifecycle. And if, as I said before, we become aware of any vulnerability, we will update and push out that new software to all of the inverters in the field. So we also have very secure software development. As you know, many of the inverters or BESS systems these days have a lot of software at the heart and the core of it. So it is very important that in the software development, we take every precaution and we don't just think about how to create great power electronics. We also think about, well, how do we build cybersecurity into everything that we do? We perform regular threat modeling, risk analysis, vulnerability scanning. We, even attack our own systems, or we pay others to try and attack our own systems, such that we really know, do we have something to be worried about or not. We have a centralized team in Germany. They're available 24/7. So we pool all of the talent around cybersecurity, and we have a dedicated team that supports all of our subsidiaries, all of our installed base around the world. The defense strategy, you can see a pretty picture here. Like we try to think of it as a bit of a castle, with several modes of defense around the castle, and there's several features or aspects to take into account. One is the authentication. So we are making sure that there's no default passwords when a system gets commissioned. We leave nothing to chance. So there's a mandatory change of passwords during commissioning. State-of-the-art cryptographic technologies and algorithms. So as you know, a lot of these cybersecurity attacks are caused, we've heard it before, through human errors and humans not doing the right behavior. So not just having a technological mode, but also a behavioral and a psychological mode is very important. So both for our external communications and secure external access. So these are optional features that customers may want to have and decide on. So of course, also there we use state-of-the-art, encryption technologies and VPN access, et cetera, everything to the highest potential level of protection. So also our internal communications is encrypted to the highest standards, and we also, in the way that we build our products, we also minimize the potential points of attack. So basically by trying to design our external interfaces with the fewest ports possible, we separate our our electronics infrastructure from our communication infrastructure, so such that the two are never connected, and also no backdoors. And as I said before, everything is manufactured in the European Union, and the data is being stored in the European Union. So in the interest of time, I talked through most of this before, so we have a very secure product life cycle from start to finish, including awareness training, and all of our products are compliant to international cybersecurity standards that you would see. Most recently, we've obtained ISO certification 27001 as one of the few in the industry, and this regulates all of our internal operating system and the platform where our data is being stored. So you can leave this presentation trusting that if you have an SMA device, SMA planned operating system, that we are here to look after you. If you have any more questions, please reach out to me afterwards, or reach out to me on LinkedIn, and I'm very happy to also put in touch with our experts. Thank you very much.